Today is Election Day in Ohio, as the state will conclude the March 17th primary, delayed because of coronavirus. And News 5's John Kosick joins us live. And John, normally we'd have you live on Election Day at a polling place with people behind you. Not today.
Yeah, we'd be looking at lines, and we'd be talking about turnout, talking about exit polls. This year, none of that. This is an entirely vote-by-mail election, a change made just a month ago by the Ohio legislature. Across the state of Ohio, close to 2 million voters have requested ballots in today's election, with about 75% of them already returned. So there are still a couple of 100,000 out there. The deadline to pop them in the mail and be postmarked was yesterday. That being said, you do have one option.
Each county board has a secure drop box right there at their facility. That'll be available until 7:30 tonight, but at 7:31, those boxes are cleaned out and we start running the tabulation, and so the clock is ticking.
In-person voting at your local boards of elections today is limited to only disabled and homeless Ohioans, but also those who, because of slow mail, fell into a third category.
If you got your request in on time, but for some reason the mail hasn't reached you, if you haven't received your ballot by mail, you will be given the opportunity to cast what's called a provisional ballot today.
Still, a number of voters calling into News 5 said they sent in their request for a ballot, but their local boards of elections had no record of it, so they were unable to vote provisionally. Issues that will need to be ironed out before the November election that will at minimum be heavily a vote-by-mail process. Rose said he'd like also to see the legislature make other changes.
John, you remember when I did the bill to create Ohio's online voter registration system? Well, at the same time, I started calling on the legislature to allow us to accept these absentee ballot requests online. It just doesn't meet expectations in the year 2020 that people have to print a form, sign it, and mail it in just to get their ballots in. It's time that we put that process online, and it's time that we allow the state to cover the cost of postage for returning those envelopes.
And again, I think we're seeing some of the kinks that will need to be worked out prior to November. In the Baldwin-Wallace poll this week, 31% of Ohioans said they would like to see November be an entirely vote-by-mail contest. 39%, though, say they would like to see it the way it is right now, a combination of both.
All right, John, got to ask here. Since just a handful of people voted in person today, does that mean we'll know the results immediately at 7:30?
Close to it, Frank. Probably between 7:45 and 8 o'clock, we will see all of those votes that are in right now come forward. They won't be the final results because, again, we still got a couple of 100,000 votes out there that need to be mailed in, and those provisional ballots need to be checked. But the final results we see on News 5 tonight at 7:45 or so will be close to final.